All right, let's get to some breaking news just reaching us this afternoon. FIFA is looking at no longer having Visit Saudi as a Women's World Cup sponsor after a bit of a backlash by hosts Australia and New Zealand. Sky News sports correspondent Rob Harris has broken the story. So, Rob, give us the background and what are the developments today then?
There's been a huge backlash to this reported news a month ago that Visit Saudi could be a sponsor of the Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand later this year. And there have been talks between the Australians, the New Zealand officials and FIFA in recent weeks. And there has been some indication, at least, that FIFA is open to revisiting this situation. And I've learnt today that FIFA is now looking at no longer having Visit Saudi as a sponsor of the Women's World Cup. We'd also had players in recent weeks, particularly Alex Morgan in the US, speaking out saying such a sponsorship didn't align with their values. And we've been hearing from Australians and New Zealanders as well saying the problem of having Visit Saudi as a sponsor of the Women's World Cup, it's a country, Saudi Arabia, without full equality for women, also with anti-LGBT laws, criminalising same-sex relations, and this made it so problematic, potentially having Visit Saudi as a sponsor. They were a sponsor of the Men's World Cup. It was never announced in a fanfare way by FIFA in Qatar, but it was on the backdrops, as it was for the Men's Club World Cup in Morocco in recent weeks as well. But certainly there's been this pressure applied by Australia and New Zealand to tell FIFA we don't want Visit Saudi as a sponsor of the World Cup, being the tourism agency of the Saudi government.
So they're looking into it. That's by no means it's a done deal that they won't be a sponsor. Where do you think this will go?
It is looking like they won't be a sponsor of this tournament.
Okay.
The fact, what I'm hearing from within FIFA is they are exploring the ways of no longer having Visit Saudi as a sponsor of the Women's World Cup. We're yet to discover if perhaps a different Saudi entity could be a sponsor of the tournament, but certainly deep ties between FIFA and Saudi Arabia that have only been growing in recent years. The Club World Cup will be in Saudi Arabia later this year, so a Premier League team could well be there if they do win the Champions League. So that is a sign of these deep relations. FIFA have been regularly visiting there. Saudi Arabia also in the running potentially for a World Cup bid for 2030 as well, for the Men's World Cup in conjunction with other countries. But I think FIFA have sensed the backlash to this and the unease, particularly in Australia and New Zealand, an event that will have public money put behind it as well. Not only England, of course, playing there, Ireland having qualified for a Women's World Cup for the first time as well. So it does seem look like FIFA is revisiting this sponsorship deal to realise that there is a lot of concern from within the game about the potential for Visit Saudi to be on the sponsor backdrops and things like that.